It's your man Jay Graves. Welcome to the 2012 college football season. I know y'all been checking out the hot joints on the JayGravesReport.com. I bring it to you hot, I bring it to you real every day. Because like I always say, I'm going to keep it real or all the way 100, whichever comes first. But what we're going to do this year to make college football season a little bit more fun, what we're going to do is I'm going to have the 2012 college football weekly wrap-up every Monday. We're going to talk about all the big games, all the significant games that went on over the weekend, what my thoughts were. We're going to have fun. I want boys to chime in like you do on the blog. Let's have a ball with it. But we're going to start off with week 1, major games, big games. Let's start off Michigan and Alabama in Big D. Big ball game. Michigan shows up and panics. Now, I won't even say Michigan showed up and panicked. I'll say the offensive coordinator showed up and panicked. Matter of fact, he had Mickey Mouse calling the plays. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Mickey Mouse is calling every single play. Can't be the same guy that called plays last year for Michigan. Can't be. You know, you win 11 ball games last year. You got the most athletic quarterback in the country in Denard Robinson. Guy runs a 4.3 240. RG3 ran a 4.38. All right, this guy's faster than anybody in college football. You show up in the parking lot when the games get ready to start, and you out here trying to find Joe Montana. You got this guy throwing the ball on every snap in the first half almost. I mean, he doesn't have the ability to throw the ball. Let's be honest. And let's keep it real or all the way 100, whichever comes first. Some things you can't teach a boy how to do. And throwing the football is one of them. You know, certain things you can't change, like genetics. Either you fine or you not. You can't change it. It is what it is. You can put on, I don't care how much weave you put on or how much makeup you put on, you still look the same. That's the same with, ask Tim Tebow, bruh. Tim Tebow been trying to throw the football his entire life. He's not a passer. It is what it is. Don't turn the guy into Joe Montana, Drew Brees, because he can't. By the time Denard Robinson touched the football to run the ball himself, got his number called, they were down 31 points. Game was over. Because in the first half, he gives up 2 picks and a turnover. That's 21 points. You can't turn the ball over against a team as good as Alabama. Now, is Alabama unbelievably good? Yes. But you didn't make Alabama get it honest. Alabama was cheating all night, if you ask me. You allowed them to pinch all night, pin their ears back, because they knew that Denard wasn't going to handle the rock. After the first quarter, they figured out this offensive coordinator, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, or somebody, is up there calling plays, so all they were doing was pinching. Made it easy for them. You didn't even make them get it honest. Come on, bro. Now you're going to turn around and win 10, 11 ball games because you're going to allow Denard Robinson to do what he does. It would have been different if Michigan would have spread them out. Denard doing his thing with the spread option, and he couldn't run it. Then I can understand you panicking. You didn't even allow the guy to figure out what he could do, what would work and what wouldn't work. So let's move on, because I could talk about Michigan and Alabama all day long. USC handled their business. Obviously, they didn't play anybody. They played Hawaii, beat them 49-10. They handled their business, though. I mean, they did what they were supposed to do week 1. Don't struggle against weaker teams. Oregon came out, did what they were supposed to do. Don't struggle against weaker teams. LSU handled their business. My OU Sooners show up in UTEP and look terrible. You know, like I always tell you boys, I'm going to keep it real. That's my team, Boomer Sooner all day long till the world blow up. But they look terrible. Terrible. And I'll tell you this, if they don't get it together by November 17th, when they have to show up in Morgantown and play West Virginia with Geno Smith and company, we're going to have problems. So we got a little time before we panic. But I'm going to tell you, you got to get it together. Now, my biggest problem with the preseason rankings is this. You shouldn't have preseason rankings at all. I know boys how to sell magazines and it's good for talk radio. But what you end up doing when you rank teams at the beginning of the season, you end up screwing teams that are sitting, 10, 11, 12, 13 that we don't even know about what they're doing. Because what they're essentially doing is ranking a team based on what they did last year and who they're bringing back from a team from last year. Are we ranking 2012 or are we ranking 2011? So in my opinion, there shouldn't be any rankings until week 1 or week 4 with, in October. So that's October 1. That way we would have seen everybody play and we know who's the #1 team in the country, because the AP jumped Alabama over USC. Do I have a problem with that? Not necessarily, but I don't think that there should be a ranking this early, because you don't know what Alabama's going to do next week at Arkansas, etc. We just don't know, because Michigan panicked. So we don't know what Alabama's defense is going to do. Because one thing that people fail to realize with Alabama was this. Alabama only returned 4 starters on defense. Those guys were bound to make mistakes, but Michigan didn't make them earn it. All right. Secondly, next thing I want to talk about is this. I'm so glad the order has been restored in college football on week 1. And I don't have to listen to Doug Herbstreit talk about the Boise State Broncos. His favorite line is, I'll take Boise State on a neutral field against anybody. Well, listen here. They don't play full seasons on neutral fields, bruh. Boise State has always played big ball games at the beginning of the season. But one thing that people don't realize about Boise State is this. Boise State always plays either at home or on a neutral field to start the season off, and then take the following week off to recuperate. Well, they figured that Michigan State was some straight up busters, and they figured, hey, we can show up at Michigan State and beat them. Like I've been saying before, when you play teams at home, at the crib, it makes a huge difference. And I know I got cats out there saying, well, they played Georgia in the Georgia Dome. It wasn't Athens. It wasn't between the hedges. When they played Bartek, they played them in D.C., not in Blacksburg. What people fail to realize is athletes are the most superstitious creatures on this earth. If I've got to go and stay at a different hotel, I've got to stay at eat at a different restaurant, get on a plane, take a different route to the game, all that makes a difference. But when you playing at home, it's a whole different ball game. And Boise State got caught sleeping over the weekend because they figured they could go to East Lansing and sneak out of there with a win. And Michigan State tried to give them the ball game, bro. Michigan State turned the ball over 4 times. It's virtually impossible to win a ball game and turn the ball over 4 times. So I'm just glad the order has been restored. I know all the fellas out there feeling me on this, especially if you understand anything about college football. Hey, so y'all stay with your boy. Hang out with me. It's going to be a good time this year. College football season is here. Every week, I'm going to do a wrap-up on Mondays, and we're going to get it in. Check me out every day on the JayGravesReport.com. Hang out with your boy, or you can get at me on Twitter at JayGravesReport and holler at your boy.